The Loogootee Line versus Barr-Reeve game, 1976 sectional, Wednesday, March the 3rd.
In the ball game, the boy that got it for Loogootee is Kenny Nigg, and they go out 2-0 with Loogootee out in front. Barr-Reeve brings the ball down. We'll quickly give the lineup as we go along. Had a little fast early start here in this ball game tonight. And it's Kenny Graber with it. We have Kenny Graber and Brian Hart at forward for Barr-Reeve. Steve Bullock at center. Gary Knepp and Merv Knepp at the guard. For Loogootee, it's Kenny Mattingly and Dave Strange at the forward. Paul Hillenbrand at center. And Kenny Nigg and Mike Wagner at the guard. There's a shot from the side is good by Brian Hart. Barr-Reeve are all tied up at 2-2. So Loogootee will bring the ball down. Barr-Reeve was in a sort of a press as they come down. Wagner gets it Strange in the corner. Shot is short. Rebound is off. Scramble for it. Out of bounds. Be Barr-Reeve's ball out. So it was tipped out there by Mike Wagner. Couldn't quite hold on to it. And the Vikings get the ball and bring it up. They're going to North Basket here in this gymnasium. We're seated on the east side. Still in the backcourt with it is Gary Knepp. He gets it across. Gives off to Kenny Graber. Down to the right side. They go. Pass off Steve Bullock. Goes to the baseline. Can't shoot. Double team there. Almost tied up. Now he is tied up. A jump ball. Steve Bullock couldn't get rid of the ball. He was tied up. It'll be Dave Strange to jump with him at the foul line near the Barr-Reeve basket. Tied 2-2, 6:29 to go in the first quarter. First of two games tonight. Tip high in the air. Tip back there, taken by Loogootee. Lost the ball with Mike Wagner. He had it look like a clear shot to the basket, but lost it. Is picked up here by Barr-Reeve. Barr-Reeve with it in the middle. Now a scramble for it, and coming out with us Kenny Graber. We have a whistle and a foul going to be called here against Paul Hillenbrand. The foul is on Paul Hillenbrand of Loogootee, the first personal foul of the ball game, a common foul, and it'll be Barr-Reeve's ball out of bounds. So the Vikings will pass it in. They get it into Kenny Graber, the side of the corner, back out it comes. Off here to Gary Knepp. Gary Knepp and Merv Knepp playing at guard for Barr-Reeve. They go to the middle with it. Kenny Graber almost hemmed in, gives it out again, off to Gary Knepp. Knepp back out again, goes to Graber, drive passing off, and a shot from the side is up there, is no good. That shot was taken by Steve Bullock. Another tip up there is good, and this one is by Brian Hart. And Barr-Reeve leads in the ball game to a score of 4-2. Loogootee is the one defeated Barr-Reeve twice this year, 61-40 and 56-51. There's a pass down to Strange. He can't hold on to it, but he kicks it back in bounds, but it goes right in the hands of a Barr-Reeve player. And down with it comes for Barr-Reeve is Merv Knepp. On the side, they go underneath. A backup hook, no good, but he stepped out of bounds. Kenny Graber tried to come underneath, hooked it back up, but they say he stepped out of bounds on the line, and the ball will go out of bounds to the Loogootee line. Loogootee, the defending champion here of the sectional at Washington, and they won the last 6 years. Coached by Jack Butcher. They're 16-4 for the year. Barr-Reeve Vikings are 14-6. As we said, a packed house here tonight. Long pass on the side, goes to Wagner, shoots from the side. It's good. Beautiful shot there by Mike Wagner, the 5'8 junior for the Loogootee Lions. We're tied 4-4. 5:19 to go in the quarter. Loogootee picks him up here in the backcourt, but Barr-Reeve gets it across as Merv Knepp moves the left side, pushing over to Brian Hart. He drives, stops, goes to the baseline. Double teamed there, but he gets it outside again. Back to the corner to Merv Knepp. He comes back out toward the left of Keo, bounce pass over to the right, goes off to Gary Knepp, down the corner, and picking it up down there, Steve Bullock. Now we have the ball being kicked here, and I think it was kicked here by well, now a foul is going to be called, they say, and it's going to be on Paul Hillenbrand. A foul is on Hillenbrand. That's his second personal foul. Common foul in the ballgame. Substitution coming in here for Loogootee, and Mark Eichmiller comes in. Eichmiller's a 6'2 sophomore. He comes in place of Paul Hillenbrand. So quickly, he picked up two personal fouls. The pass into Kenny Graber for Barr-Reeve. And into the middle. A shot from the foul lines up there is no good by Merv Knepp. Rebound is off, almost broken up, but Wagner saves it for Loogootee. So the Lions come down across the timeline with it. Wagner is off here. Kenny Nigg back to Wagner. Wagner working, holding it. Now Mattingly comes out to help him and gives back to Wagner. Almost gets away, and on that far side, he flips it down to Mattingly. Right corner, takes his shot. It's good. Kenny Mattingly scores for Loogootee, and they lead 6-4 now in the ball game. Strange is the leading scorer for Loogootee. He's been averaging 11.3. Gary Knepp has been averaging 15.4 coming into this tourney. Barr-Reeve's ball over in the corner, taking out there Steve Bullock. Tries to drive in, and the ball goes out of bounds, and they say it was knocked out there by Loogootee, by Dave Strange. Now substitution comes in here for Barr-Reeve. Bob Miller comes in the ball game in place of Merv Knepp at the guard. Miller's a 5'10 sophomore. Miller in for Barr-Reeve in place of Merv Knepp. Barr-Reeve's ball on the pass there. They give it to Bob Miller. Miller. Now it goes off to Gary Knepp. Knepp over in the corner. Gives off to Brian Hart. Shooting. Scoring. Brian Hart, 3 buckets, 6 points. He has all 6 points for Barr-Reeve. We're tied at 6-6. 3:50 to go. There's a layup underneath. It's no good by Strange, but a foul is going to be called against Barr-Reeve. A foul is called here on the Vikings against Steve Bullock. The foul on Steve Bullock, the 6'1 junior, and Strange will go to the line to shoot 2 for the Loogootee Lions. Dave Strange, a 6'2 junior up there. As he said, he's been averaging 11.3 points per game for Loogootee. Up with his shot. It's up there. No good. Missed the first one. So he'll get ready for the next one. Your host for this tourney, Washington National Bank, Trailer Fertilizer, Jones TV. The next one up there is good. It is good by Dave Strange. Makes it now 7-6. Martin County Co-op, Newland Tire, Graber Implement, and Eaton Farm Service. Happy to bring you the tourney. 2 games tonight, as we said. 7-6, Loogootee leads. Barr-Reeve the ball. Stolen away here by Mattingly. And down to Wagner. Back to Mattingly. Up the shot. No good, but a whistle and a foul going to be called against Bob Miller. A foul is called on Bob Miller of Barr-Reeve. His first, second team foul. And now Mattingly will go to the line to shoot 2 for Loogootee. 7-6, the Lions lead. 3:40 to go here. The clock is working tonight. Last night we had the scoreboard working, but not the clock. I couldn't tell how much time. A shot up by Mattingly is no good. So Kenny Mattingly missed his first one. So Loogootee is 1 for 3 now from the free throw line. Mattingly gets ready for the next one. I think both these teams just a little bit tight at the start of this ball game. Shot is up there. Good on this one. So it makes it now an 8-6 ball game. Loogootee by 2. Barr-Reeve's ball. Bob Miller up with it for Barr-Reeve. Cross the line. Off to Brian Hart. Down the side. Off there to Steve Bullock. Back again to Miller. Vikings have it. Bounce pass cross court to Gary Knepp. Into the corner. Gives to Bullock. Bullock back out again to Knepp. Gary Knepp with it. And he travels with it. Started to pass the ball and held on to it. And that's 4 turnovers now. 4 turnovers now for Barr-Reeve. Coming back in the ball game, Merv Knepp comes back in here in place of Gary Knepp now for the Barr-Reeve Vikings. The pass comes in. It goes into Strange. Loogootee has the ball. Quickly gives it to Nig. Now over to Mike Wagner. Wagner. Now back to Strange. Now back to Wagner. Down the set off to Ike Miller. Mark Ike Miller. Now back to Strange. Nig. Long shot by Nig. No good. Rebound is off. Taken off by Barr-Reeve. Steve Bullock. He gives it now off to Merv Knepp. He cuts toward the basket, but traveling is going to be called. Basket will not count. And that brings Joe Toadrank up off of the bench there. Traveling is called. The ball is turned over to Loogootee. The basket will not count. 8-6 the score. Loogootee leading by 2. 2:58 to go here in the first quarter. Up with it comes Mike Wagner for Loogootee. He moves inside off to Kenny Nig. Nig out to the left. Now gives to Ike Miller. Ike Miller back out to Nig. Drives, stops, passes off. Shot by Mattingly. Two-handed jumper up there. No good. Rebound is off. Taken off by Barr-Reeve. Grabbed over Steve Bullock. Long pass down. Brian Hart up and scores. A long pass down to Brian Hart. Got him behind the defense. Went up to score, and he has all 4 buckets here for Barr-Reeve. 8-8 the score now. 2:26 to go here in the first quarter. It's Nig with the ball for Loogootee. Out here to Wagner. Back again off to Nig. Nig gives over to Mattingly. Mattingly back to Nig. Over the side goes to Wagner. He's been a little closer. Now he gives back off again to Kenny Nig. Like Barr-Reeve's got about a 1-2-2 out there, Ron, where they've been playing it. They keep, I was going to say, they switch back and forth. Now Wagner with it. Wagner back out again, off here to Nig. And now he gives it off here to Wagner. Wagner back up toward the center court. In the middle of Strange. Ball broken up. Scramble for it. And picked back up again by Wagner. Loogootee has the ball. Down with it. Passes off. Goes to Mattingly. Tries to go up. And we have a whistle and a foul call on Mattingly. A foul is called on Mattingly. Offensive foul. That's his first. And the 3rd team foul now against the Lions. And the ball will go out of bounds. Now, time is called here because they want to, 2 of the boys went to the floor here, and they want a towel to wipe up around the center of the floor where they fell out there and get some of the perspiration. As we said, we got an early start here tonight. We have 1:44 to go here in this quarter with the score tied 8-8. Ron's having a little trouble with his headset there, I think. Can you hear it, Ron? Sometimes it's... So it's coming up with it now is Barr-Reeve. Bob Miller gives off to Brian Hart. Hart over here on the side, off there to Gary Knepp. Knepp now back out to Bob Miller. Miller's a sophomore, by the way. Now gives off to Knepp in the middle. Kenny Graber back again to Gary Knepp. Gary Knepp in the middle again. They go in there to Graber. Now back to Knepp. Now in the corner off to Steve Bullock. Bullock back out again to Gary Knepp. Minute and 13 to go here in the quarter. We're tied 8-8. In the middle, outside this time to Miller. Fakes, and he travels with the ball. He travels with the ball, and that is the 6th turnover now for the Barr-Reeve Vikings. 6 turnovers for Barr-Reeve. Up with it comes Kenny Nigg for Loogootee. Now gives to Mike Wagner. Wagner's a Strange. Strange back to Nigg on his side. He drives, but he travels with it. And that is 4 turnovers for Loogootee. Well, they all belong to the Greyhound Club tonight. They're all 4 turnovers here for Loogootee, 6 turnovers for Barr-Reeve. Long pass comes up here. Gives to Kenny Graber for Barr-Reeve. Miller outside. Bullock. Long shot in the side. No good. Rebound is off, and it's saved there by Strange, and Nigg went up after it, and finally Nigg retrieved it. So the Lions have the ball. Across the timeline. Gives over to Mike Wagner. Wagner in the middle. Miller outside. They go to Strange. Gets you set. Up with the shot. Good! Dave Strange picks up his first basket, his 3rd point. The Lions now lead by 2, 10-8. 33 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Our officials tonight are Dwayne Laird and Bill Laird. And a full house we have. Another game to follow. There's Brian Hart with it. Over to Bob Miller for Barr-Reeve. And he gives it back to Hart in that corner. He pumps it up there. Good! Brian Hart has hit 5 buckets out there, and he has shot 5 times and hit all 5 of them. 10-10 now the score. 10 seconds with the ball. Nigg over to Strange. Nigg drives the middle, stops, goes up with his shot. It's in there. Nice shot by Kenny Niggs. He picks up his 2nd bucket. 12-10 now the score. There's a long shot down here, no good. And they didn't rack. Now they've racked it up on the scoreboard as the gun sound ending the first quarter play with a score. Loogootee Lions 12 and the Barr-Reeve Vikings 10. You know, recreational equipment financed by Washington National Bank will provide a summer loaded with leisure, time, fun, and plus save you money on motel and restaurant bills this summer and for many summers to come. Determine the funds you need for the camper, trailer, or boat you've had your eye on and stop by Washington National's Loan Department. Washington National Bank has offices in 2 Washington locations to serve you better. In that first quarter, Barr-Reeve hit 5 out of 8 from the field, and all 5 of those were hit by Brian Hart. They're shooting 62.5%. Is that right, Ron? 62.5. Yeah. And Loogootee is hitting 5 out of 9. They're shooting 55.6. 55.6. So both these teams are really zipping the nets here. All right, we're all set to go. 12-10 the score, with Loogootee out in front by 2. Hildebrand comes back in the ball game for Loogootee. He's the 6'4 senior. He picked up 2 personal fouls early. Now he'll be back there jumping at center against Steve Bullock for Barr-Reeve. The tip is up and controlled by Barr-Reeve, taken there by Kenny Graber. He played position on that one. Actually, Hildebrand got the tip, but it's opposition. And Gary Knepp with it in the corner to Bullock. Bullock now got Brian Hart up with his shot. No good. Comes off. That's the first one he's missed. Now the ball out of bounds. They award it to Loogootee. Tipped out, they say, by Kenny Graber. That's the 6th there for Barr-Reeve. All right, it's Strange with the ball for the Lions. Over the side to Wagner. Wagner, long shot. It's up, no good. Bullock rebounds for Barr-Reeve. And he attempts to pass. The ball is stolen by Wagner. He gives it back out. Now Nigg drives, goes up with his shot. He scores. Kenny Nigg. The ball was stolen there by Wagner. Deflected back there to Kenny Nigg. He drove him the right side to score. His 3rd bucket, 14-10 now the score. Biggest lead as Loogootee leads by 4. Bullock shooting the corner. He scores. Steve Bullock hit for Barr-Reeve from the right corner. Makes it 14-12. Wagner down across the timeline for Loogootee. Gives over to Kenny Nigg. Nigg now to Mattingly. Mattingly double team back in Nigg. Drives the middle. Passes off. Man wide open underneath as good as Paul Hildebrand. Hildebrand was wide open. That's that old backdoor play that we've seen them use so often. 16-12 the score. And now the ball stolen by Wagner. All the way down court. Lays it up and missed it. And taken off by Mattingly. Lays it up and it's good, and he is fouled. And he is fouled. The basket will count. The basket will count by Mattingly. The foul is on Miller. That's his second. And it makes it 18-12 now. Nig will have... well, it was Nig that made the basket. He makes the free throw also. And that is 9 points for Kenny Nig now. 19-12 is the score as Loogootee leads. With it is Kenny Graber for Barr-Reeve. It's out here to Bob Miller in the corner. Brian Hart shooting, no good. Rebound is off, scramble for it, and jump ball. A jump ball will be called. Let's see who will jump. I think it'll be Brian Hart to jump there with Kenny Mattingly. Again, they're going to clean up the floor a little bit. .6:23 remaining in the second quarter. Have some other good ball games around tonight. All the rest of the sections, most of them opening tonight. A few not, with his 14. High tip controlled by Barr-Reeve. Bullock with it. Out it goes to Merv Knepp, who's back in there. There's the ball stolen by Kenny Nig. Down with it. Takes a long shot. No good. Rebound is off. Brian Hart grabs it. And long pass all the way up court. Bullock goes under, lays up and in. Steve Bullock took the long pass all the way down court to go up the score, 19-14. Loogootee leads by 5. They have the ball. Wagner with it. Mike Wagner, he's 5'8", and a junior, by the way. Now to Mattingly, out to Wagner. Wagner on the side gives to Nig. Nig. For Loogootee, out center court. They go to Wagner. Wagner now gets that pass in the middle. Turnaround jumper by Hildebrand is good. Paul Hildebrand, he went to the middle and took that pass, and Wagner just turned around and dropped it through. 21-14. Loogootee leading by 7. Barr-Reeve with the ball. With it is Kenny Graber. Graber, top half the foul circle, out the side, goes to Miller. Miller looks for help, and now he takes a shot from out there. No good. Rebound is off. Battle for, and a whistle and a foul going to be called on Hildebrand, and that's number 3. A foul on Paul Hildebrand of Loogootee, his third. Now we got a technical foul call, I think, on the Loogootee bench. There's a third personal call on Paul Hildebrand, and now we have a technical foul call on the Loogootee bench here. That is the 4th team foul on Loogootee, and let's see who's going to shoot the technical. I believe it will be Brian Hart. It will be. He'll have one shot. 5:12 left here in the second quarter. Now we're going to come back here and check it. So up with his free throw. No good. He missed it. He missed it. And now the ball will go. Now he's going to have 2 shots. That's right. He was in the act of shooting, they say. He makes this one. Now we shoot the technical. Now we'll shoot the technical foul, and it will be Gary Knepp to shoot that. He had 2 shots on the other one. Now this is the technical foul. Good. So now it's 21-16. 21-16 now the score. And Loogootee leading by 5. And the ball goes out of bounds to Barr-Reeve. Up court with it. Here comes Gary Knepp for Barr-Reeve. Outside to Merv Knepp. Down the corner to Bullock. Bullock. Now they go to Kenny Graber. Back in the corner. The shot is up. No good. Rebound taken off here. And a whistle and a foul going to be called on Kenny Graber. Barr-Reeve. Kenny Graber commits the personal as he fouled Mark Hockmiller, and that is his first, and the 14th foul now against Barr-Reeve. It's a common foul, and the ball, of course, go out of bounds to Loogootee. 21-16 to score. Loogootee leading. They had the ball. With it is Mike Wagner. Wagner. Over to Mattingly. Mattingly gives it out to Strange. Back to Wagner in that corner, shooting. Good! Man, he drilled it. Right from that left corner. It hit nothing but the bottom of the net. Down court, it makes it 23-16. Barr-Reeve Vikings come down. Kenny Graber shooting outside. Good, it's in there. Kenny Graber gets his first bucket, 23-18. 23-18 the score. Loogootee leads by 5. 4:19 to go here in the second quarter. Strange with it in the middle, driving as Mattingly scores. Mattingly goes up to score, and timeout's going to be called. 25-18, Loogootee leading by 7. Timeout call here by Barr-Reeve. You know, performance means more than promises for corn growers, and last year's performance of Seed Chem hybrids speaks for itself. Yields exceeding 150 bushels were quite common in this area. Seed dealers are so impressed that Seed Chem is awarding again this year a free international vacation to any grower Seed Chem hybrids who produces 200 bushels from any measured acre. For Seed Chem hybrids and further information on the free international vacation for 1976, see Trailer Fertilizer Service in Montgomery. Well, Ron, I think everybody expected a good ball game, and they're getting it.
Well, we're getting one right now. Both teams are shooting real well. Loogootee is 6 for 9 in this quarter, and Barr-Reeve is cooled off somewhat. They're 3 for 8. So, but that still makes Barr-Reeve 50% for the night, and Loogootee 11 for 18.
All right. All right, time will be back in. And we don't need a sauna bath. We got one right here. It's warm in here tonight, too. Okay, 4:07 to go in the second quarter. The Barr-Reeve Vikings have the ball, and with it out there is Merv Knepp. And they come out after him, but he gets it across here to Kenny Graber. Graber back to Merv Knepp. It really looks like they've got almost, sometimes almost a 3-2 they're working on out there, because they got Mattingly right in that middle. Now we have traveling is going to be called here against Bullock. And that is, how many? 10 turnovers here for Barr-Reeve. 10 turnovers in the ball game for the Vikings. Down with it comes Kenny Nigg. For Loogootee, out there to Mike Wagner. Now they give back again to Strange. Strange again to Wagner. Long shot. This one no good. The rebound is off, and it's taken off by Kenny Graber of Barr-Reeve. Up across the timeline is Gary Knepp. Vikings have the ball. In the corner, they give to Hart. He shoots from that corner. Good! That's where he's hit most of them out there. He has 6 buckets and 1 free throw for 13 points. Makes it 25-20 now. Loogootee by 5. With 3:19 to go here in the quarter. With it is Strange. Out to Mattingly. Mattingly. Now it goes over to Wagner out on that right side. Back again to Mattingly. Nigg comes out. He takes a pop shot from way out. It's out there and it's good. Kenny Nigg hit that one a good 22 feet out. And it makes it 27-20. That's what they call chord music when they go through like that. Down comes Kenny. Nigg took that ball and popped it from way out. Now with the Millers with the ball, almost tied up. Gary Knepp gets it now. He comes to help him. Now with it for Barr-Reeve. Over the side to Brian Hart. Fakes, but can't shoot. Gives it back out again to Miller. Bob Miller tries to go through the middle. Goes up with his shot, but misses. The rebound is off. Taken off there by Mark Eichmiller, but he loses it. And it's picked up by Barr-Reeve. With the ball is Gary Knepp in the corner to Bullock. And we have a foul going to be called here on Mattingly. I believe. Let's see. No, the foul is going to be on Eichmiller. The foul is going to be on Eichmiller, his first. And going to the line to shoot a one-on-one will be Steve Bullock for Barr-Reeve. 27-20 the score. Loogootee leads by 7. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Steve Bullock with 4 points. First opportunity from the free throw line. Shot is up. Good. So he'll get the bonus shot now. Makes it 27-21 Loogootee. And 5 points for Steve Bullock. They were not sold out here last night. Someone asked me, and I checked with the principal, Roger Williams. He said, no, they had 800 tickets to go on sale at the door. And they sold about 500 of them, he said, something like that. So they wasn't quite sold out last night, but I think they are tonight. There's a shot up there is good. So it's 27-22. 5-point difference here. Loogootee leads, and they have the ball. They're for Loogootee. There's a pass down in the corner. Goes off here to Larry Hembree. He's in the ball game here for Loogootee now. Larry's a 5'11 sophomore, and he has the ball. Out to Strange, down in the corner, goes off the side, and he misses. It comes off, and Barr-Reeve gets the ball. And with it here is Merv Knepp. Knepp to Bullock. Bullock in the corner. Now back out again to Merv Knepp. Knepp in the middle. And hands it off there to Kenny Graber. Outside, shot from the corner by Hart. Good. This time he hit from the right corner. Hey, 7 buckets. He has 15 points, 27-24. Loogootee by 3. Embry with it. for Loogootee. Out to help him is Strange. They try to get work the middle there but Strange goes up. The shot and hits. He banked that one in. Dave Strange, 5 points, 29-24. Loogootee pressing, but Barr-Reeve gets it across the timeline. Brian Hart back out again. Off there to Miller. Over the side. It gives up now underneath to Bullock, and he travels with the ball. Travels with the ball, and it will be Loogootee's ball out. And that's 11 turnovers now for Barr-Reeve. In the ball game, Coy Robinson comes in, a 6'1 senior. Coy Robinson comes in here for Barr-Reeve in place of Steve Bullock. We have 1 minute and 16 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Larry Hembry down with it for Loogootee. Now out to Mattingly. Mattingly to Kenny Nigg. Nigg out to Hembry. He's going to shoot from a mile away, and he hits! And they all can hit. 31-24. 7-point lead for Loogootee. The defending champions here of the Washington Sectional. Barr-Reeve with the ball. Out there. Down the corner to Brian Hart. Hart. Back out. Bob Miller. Knocked out of his hands, but the ball rolls along the floor. Who's got it? Picked up by Loogootee. Grabbed there by Mark Eichmiller. Everybody after it. Now with it is Kenny Nigg. 38 seconds. Back again. Gives to Hembry. Now with it is Strange. Back to Nigg on the side. Shooting. It's in there. Kenny Nigg. And that's 15 points for Nigg now. 33-24. As Loogootee's come back here. Barr-Reeve would pull within 3, but now it's 33-24. And time's going to be called here. Time is called here by No, traveling is called. If it is, that's 13 turnovers for Barr-Reeve. 13 turnovers. And coming up here with it now, of course, is Larry Hembry for Loogootee. Gives here to Strange. Out to Mattingly. Out to Strange. Strange out to Hembry. Hembry now to Nigg. Long shot. It is short. Gets his own rebound. Now a foul going to be called. And I think it's going to be against Barr-Reeve, and it's going to be against Kenny Knepp. A foul is, or Gary Knepp. Foul is on Gary Knepp. That's his first. The foul is on Gary Knepp of Barr-Reeve, his first. Kenny Nigg goes to the free throw line. He'll have the one-on-one. Actually, time has run out here, it looks like, on the clock. He makes this one. Makes it now 34-24. Loogootee leads by 10. And that's how fast things can change in the ballgame. Next one up is also good. And there's the pass in. There's the gun, ending the first half of play. The score, Loogootee Lions 35, the Barr-Reeve Vikings 24. 35-24 with Loogootee out in front by 11. And now Joe Todrank is out talking to one of the officials as they leave the floor here. I don't know. He was asking about something. And Ron, how much time was there left there when there was only 3 points difference? I want to check that because it happened real fast. There wasn't there was 3 minutes and 27 seconds left I believe when there was only 3 points difference, right?
Yes, 148.
148.
27-24.
It was 27-24. Loogootee by 3 with 148 to go. And in that time, Loogootee has piled up an 11-point lead, and they lead now 35-24. You know, Jones TV, the store that Service built, is now having terrific buys on Quasar. With the new Quasar set, you have advantages like the finest color picture possible, outstanding color TV reliability, and energy savings, too. The Quasar uses 29% less energy than Sony, 31% less than Zenith, and 41% less than RCA. These comparisons are based on lowest-rated 76 19-inch diagonal models using wattage ratings listed on the sets. Stop by Jones TV, 5 Southeast 1st Street of Washington, and buy a 19-inch Service Miser TV. They're just $388. Save now at Jones TV. Well, let's look at the scoring here in this first half of play. For the Loogootee Lions, Kenny Nigg with 5 points, or rather Kenny Mattingly with 5 points. On 2 field goals, a free throw, he has 1 personal foul. Dave Strange has 5 points. On 2 field goals, a free throw, no personals. Paul Hillebrand has 4 points on 2 field goals. He picked up 3 personals. Kenny Nigg has 15 points. I thought he had 7 field goals, but he has 6 field goals, but he has 3 free throws. He hit 3 for 3 from the free throw line, so a total of 15 points. Mike Wagner has 4 points on 2 field goals, no personal fouls. Larry Hembry has 2 points on a field goal and no personal fouls. Mike Eichmiller did not score. And will you take?
Okay. All right, Joe. In the shooting percentages here, Loogootee is shooting 62.5%, 15 of 24, while Barr-Reeve is 10 for 19 for 52.6%. So both teams are really hitting fine right now, with Loogootee especially coming in that second quarter, 10 of 15. Loogootee was 5 for 9 in the first quarter, while Barr-Reeve was 5 for 8 in the first quarter and 5 for 11 in the second quarter.
Okay, Ron. I'll give the scoring here for Barr-Reeve now. Kenny Graber has 2 points on a field goal. He has 1 personal foul. Brian Hart, 15 points. And what did you say Brian hit in that? He hit 5 in a row, I know, and he missed a couple. He's got 7 out of 9 from the field. So he has 15 points. Steve Bullock has 6 points on 2 field goals, 2 free throws, and 1 personal foul. Gary Knepp has 1 point on a free throw. He has 1 personal foul. Bob Miller did not score. He picked up 2 personals. Corey Robinson was in a short time. He did not score. He had no personal fouls. Merv Knepp did not score. So of the 24 points that Barr-Reeve has, Brian Hart has picked up 15 of them. Of the 35 that Loogootee has, Kenny Nigg has 15 out of them. So as we said, we got a real good crowd tonight.
Real fine, Joe. I think we'll have one Friday night and Saturday night, too. Of course, Washington always draws one of the finest crowds in the state.
Last year we were third as far as attendance was concerned, money-wise, too.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, Ron, I don't know what a lot of people know it or not, but actually these teams make more, they get more money out of sectional than they do any other tourney.
Yes, they're prorated
right.
by the tickets sold, and it's an advantage to being in the tournament.
But from the regional on, I think the IHSA has just allotted set amount for each team regardless. And I know a lot of schools they can complain about because they used to be, but they make more on a sectional than they do any other tourney. Because I think even if they go to the state, $1,500, I think, is about all. That's what. I think you're smart, Ron. I was up here this afternoon. I set things up, and I threatened to come up here in shorts tonight. It was so hot, and I think I'm going to shed a coat right now.
That's what I did last night. I didn't wear a coat tonight. I learned my lesson last night.
Because Rogers told me, well, if you'd create a lot of activity or get a lot of notoriety if you come up in shorts. But I'd feel cooler anyway. So I'm shedding this coat. It's warm in here. We got 7,000 people or better crammed in here right now. Okay, Loogootee Lions out on the floor as we start the third period of play. Here come the Barr-Reeve Vikings out, coached by Joe Todrink, Jack Butcher, the coach of Loogootee Lions. And the wheels of strategy probably were turning at halftime down those dressing rooms. There's the tip in the air and controlled by Loogootee. Taken there by Kenny Nigg. Down. He goes up the shot. No good. Tip back up there and in there by Paul Hildebrand. Hildebrand gets his 6th point of the night. Makes it 37-24. And now Loogootee's got into a press here as the Barr-Reeve tries to get it across. They do get it across. Bullock with it. And out there with it now is Gary Knepp. Knepp down, trying to pass it down the corner to Bullock, but it was kicked out of bounds by Wagner. So it will be Barr-Reeve's ball on the side in the front court, and passing it in here is Gary Knepp. Knepp gets it in. Enter to Brian Hart, back to Gary Knepp in the corner, goes up to one-handed shot, little short, rebound is off, rebound taken off by Paul Hildebrand. Hildebrand is 6'4", he's a senior, by the way. And now Wagner has it, comes across. Yep. Barr-Reeve has gone into a man-to-man defense here. They go to the middle with it, though, and Mattingly goes up. The shot, he scores! Kenny Mattingly picks up his 7th point of the night. 39-24 now. Loogootee out in front. Coming across there with it for is Gary Knepp. And now to Kenny Graber. Graber. Back out again to Knepp. Gary Knepp with it. To Merv Knepp. K-N-E-P-P. Gary Knepp and Merv Knepp, the guards. In the side, in the corner of this shot. It's up and in by Gary Knepp. And that's his first basket tonight. And Gary Knepp has been averaging 15.3. He's their leading scorer on this ball club of Barr-Reeve, and that's his first basket tonight. He has 3 points. 39-26 now they score. With it is Dave Strange. Out to Mattingly for Loogootee. Nig picks it up. Now to Wagner. Wagner fakes, but he travels. He tries to do a little shuffle there as he started in, but he was called for traveling, and that is only the 6th turnover for Loogootee in the ball game, while Barr-Reeve has committed 14 turnovers. We're in the third period, 39-26. Loogootee out in front. Now with it is Brian Hart. Hart drives, stops, up with his shot, scores! So Brian Hart still is hitting. He has 17 points in the ball game. Missed only 2, is that right?
That's right. He's only a sophomore, too, Joe.
Only a sophomore, right. He's 6-foot sophomore. 39-28 now the score. With the ball is Kenny Nig. Over to Mattingly for Loogootee. Fast break. Wagner with it outside. The shot is up there a little short. That shot was taken by Paul Hildebrand. And Barr-Reeve gets the ball. Long pass down here to Merv Knepp. Knepp brings it back out for the Barr-Reeve Vikings. Now in the middle. And there to Kenny Graber. Outside. They go to Gary Knepp. He can't shoot. Back again. The shot is up there and in there by Kenny Graber. Kenny Graber gets his second bucket. 39-30 now. Now it's a 9-point difference here as Loogootee leads by 9. We have 5:38 to go here in the third period. Loogootee with the ball, and with it is Wagner. Wagner out there, and they pass the ball right in the hand. Now somebody falls down. Wide open shot is good by Paul Hildebrand. The ball was right into the hands of Steve Bullock, but he fell down with it, lost it. It was picked up by Loogootee. They passed underneath to Paul Hildebrand. He was wide open to score. 41-30 the score. 11-point lead for Loogootee. And Barr-Reeve goes up for the shot. It's no good, but a whistle and a foul is going to be called against Mattingly of Loogootee. That's his second personal foul. Second personal foul on Kenny Mattingly of Loogootee. And up at the line for Barr-Reeve will be Gary Knepp. No, they say he started the line. They say, nope, it was a common foul. He will not shoot it. Kenny Graber gets it in the pass in here. Now out to Merv Knepp. Out there to Gary Knepp for Barr-Reeve in the middle. Graber outside to Brian Hart. This time a little short. Rebound is off. Tip back up there. No good. And tip back up by Kenny Graber. And he's taken it. Now a whistle and a foul is going to be called on Paul Hildebrand, and that's number 4. Paul Hildebrand picks up his 4th personal foul. And we have timeout called here by Loogootee with the score, Loogootee Lions 41, the Barr-Reeve Vikings 30 with 4:53 to go in this third period. Say, what do you really want in a harrow? Now, if you're after a field that is well prepared below the surface, then take a close look at the Alice Chalmers 2300 Series disc harrow. Graber Implement Incorporated of Montgomery, your Alice Chalmers dealer, can give you a demonstration, answer your questions, and give you the dollars and cents pictures of the 2300. Why not stop by and see them today? That's Graber Implement Incorporated, your Alice Chalmers sales and service dealer in Montgomery. We're seated here. We have the Barr-Reeve fans right in front of us. And behind us, then right to our right of us, we have the Loogootee fans. So that's why all the cheering here, because we're really getting it here in this first game as the Barr-Reeve and Loogootee are seated side by side in the cheering sections here. All right, time is back in. It'll be Barr-Reeve's ball. Merv Knepp will be the trigger man to pass it in here. We have 4 minutes and 53 seconds to go in the third period. And Knepp will pass it in. It goes to the corner with it. Off there to Kenny Graber. Back out, off down to Gary Knepp. Knepp gets that ball behind him, gives it the foul line, can't shoot. Passes off, goes to Kenny Graber. Graber cross court. Merv Knepp. He drives to the baseline. Swarmed in, can't get a shot away. Pass it back off to Gary Knepp. Now back out to Merv Knepp. As Loogootee is blocking it off underneath the basket. Now we have a whistle and a foul going to be called, and it's going to be against Kenny Graber. And that is his second personal foul. The foul is on Kenny Graber. It's a blocking foul. And the ball goes out of bounds to Loogootee. And that's his second personal foul. Up with it comes Mike Wagner for the Lions. Down here, down with it, down, a foul going to be called. Trying to steal the ball. The foul is going to be on Kenny Graber, and he's picked up another one here, and that's his third now. As he tried to steal the ball, Kenny Graber has picked up his third personal foul. That is the second team foul against Barr-Reeve here. Kenny Graber has both of them. Now with it is Mike Wagner for Loogootee. In the middle, Strange, foul line, shot, little short. Taken up by Mattingly up the shot, he scored. Kenny Mattingly scoring. 9 points for Mattingly. 43-30. Loogootee by 13. 4:10 to go here in the third period. Barr-Reeve with the ball. Merv Knepp. Now a long shot from outside is good by Gary Knepp. Gary Knepp gets his second basket. 43-32. Corey Robinson back in the ball game for Barr-Reeve, and Kenny Graber comes out. Corey Robinson comes back in there for Barr-Reeve. Kenny Graber comes out. There's the pass in as Barr-Reeve started to do a little pressing in, but the Lions get the ball in. Mike Wagner across the timeline with it. Wagner now gets a break to Strange underneath. He goes up, no good. The rebound's off, taken off by Brian Hart. Barr-Reeve. He quickly gives that ball over to Merv Knepp. He's back over to the center line with it. Merv Knepp hands it off to Brian Hart. Hart, the foul line, and the ball gets away and is picked up now by Gary Knepp. Back out to Brian Hart, left side, pumps away from out there. Is short, gets his own rebound, loses it, and he's fouled by Nig. A foul is called on Kenny Nig. That's his first, and the third team foul against Loogootee in the third period. In the ball game now, Larry Hembry, a 5'11 sophomore back in. Larry was in the first half, and he picked up 2 points on a field goal. Nig goes out for Loogootee. Hembry comes in. Barr-Reeve's ball. With it is Gary Knepp. Knepp. Gary Knepp ran at right side, and Embry's all over him out there. And now with it is Steve Bullock. Bullock goes to the middle, and a whistle and a foul going to be called, and this one is going to be on Mark Eichmiller, who's in there, and that's his second personal foul. Eichmiller picks up his second personal foul. Now that's the fourth team foul, and again a common foul. Ball out of bounds to Barr-Reeve. It'll be Merv Knepp to pass it in. He looks to get it in, and now they say not enough. Didn't get it in time. 5 seconds had elapsed.
That's 16 errors, Joe, and it's really hurting Barr-Reeve right now.
16 turnovers here for Barr-Reeve. And now a foul is going to be called here on Merv Knepp. He tried to steal the ball coming in behind and picked up his first personal foul. And that is the third team foul here against Barr-Reeve in the third period. So Loogootee gets the ball out of bounds. There's the pass in. Goes to Mattingly. To Wagner up the shot. No good. Out of bounds. Tipped out by Brian Hart. Loogotee's ball out. Now the pass in will be from Mike Wagner in underneath, and Eichmiller tries his shot. Now we have a foul call on Brian Hart. A foul call on Brian Hart, and that is his first. And up at the line will go Mark Eichmiller, and he'll shoot 2. Mark Eichmiller, Eichmiller, 6'2 sophomore, will have 2 shots. He's not scored tonight. 43-32 the score. Loogootee leads. The shot is up, is good. Now he gets ready for the next one. Now for this one, it's good. So he makes them both, and he has 2 points now, and it's 45-32. There's the ball thrown away and out of bounds, but Barr-Reeve on the pass in. And that's another turnover, and that is their 17th turnover, and they called for timeout with 3:08 to go in the third period. 45-32 Loogootee. You know, basketball is as much a part of the Hoosier tradition as is the Indy 500. In this, our bicentennial year, Eaton's Farm Service of Montgomery and Ralston Farina Company would like to remind you that agriculture is the backbone of our Hoosier economy. They are pleased to help bring you these games and are proud to be a part of the agriculture here in Daviess County. Timeout has been called. 3:08 to go in the third period. Loogootee leads 45-32.
Well, Joe, I think if Barr-Reeve doesn't whittle that lead down here to about 5 or 6 points in the next 3 minutes, it might be a sad trip home, because you know what Loogotee's going to do in that last quarter.
They'll get it.
They're going to four-corner it and set on it.
Well, they've got the personnel that can do it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Larry Hembry, the 5'11 sophomore, will trigger it in here for Loogootee Lions as Barr-Reeve threw it away on the pass in. And he looks for help, and he gets it in here to Mike Wagner. Wagner with it, out here to Hembry. Got Hembry in there, Mark Eichmiller's in there. They go to Mattingly, and a foul is going to be called here on Mattingly, an offensive foul. And that's his third. A foul on Kenny Mattingly, an offensive foul. And so the ball goes out of bounds here to Barr-Reeve, and up with it comes Gary Knepp. Knepp. Now he drives around that side, gives it out to Brian Hart. Hart back to Gary Knepp. Loogootee playing a real good defensive game, too. There's a shot by Coy Robinson, no good. Comes off, and a foul going to be called on Coy Robinson now. I said Loogootee been playing pretty good defensive ball game, Ron, also with this. They stick pretty close. Now Mattingly comes out of the ball game for Loogootee. Nig, well, let's see who's going to go back in there. At the line, we're going to have Mark Eichmiller once again. Kenny Graber comes back in and plays Coy Robinson for Barr-Reeve. Strange is in there for Loogootee. Nig is back in, too. There's the shot up there. No good on the free throw. Ball is off. Kicked back in bounds here and saved by Barr-Reeve, and with it is Gary Knepp. So 45-32, the score remains. With it now is Merv Knepp for Barr-Reeve. Drives around the side, tries to lay it up. No good. It's blocked. And now they say it was tipped out by Merv Knepp, and he lost it and will be out of bounds, Loogootee. The pass comes in here to Kenny Nig. He's across the timeline, driving, passing off. Shot up there from the side is no good by Paul Hildebrand. Pass break down court for Barr-Reeve, but they slow it up as Merv Knepp passes over here now to Gary Knepp. There's a long shot from out, is no good. Rebound is off, taken back by Merv Knepp. Up with his shot, he hit. Merv Knepp gets his first basket tonight for Barr-Reeve, makes it 45-34. Barr-Reeve in a press. Up with it comes Nig. Across the timeline for Loogootee. Out there on him is Kenny Graber. Out the side they go. Embry back again. Wagner underneath to Mattingly. Rather to Mark Eichmiller, who scores. He was all alone coming in there and picks up his fourth point. 47-34 Loogootee. Merv Knepp for Barr-Reeve. Off now to Kenny Graber. Shooting. A little short. And we have a whistle underneath. The foul is going to be against Paul Hart. Bullock, on Steve Bullock. That's his second. The foul is on Steve Bullock, his second. And at the line is Kenny Nig. Kenny had 15 points the first half. He's not scored in the second half, so this will be his first opportunity from the free throw line. He's hit 3 for 3 from the charity stripe tonight. Shot is up, it's good. That gives him 16 points, makes it 48-34. 48-34 Loogootee. In the ball game, Bob Miller back in here for Barr-Reeve. He comes in the place of Brian Hart. Hart, who had 15 points the first half, he's been shut off here in the second half also with one bucket. Shot is up there, is good. As Nig now has 5 in a row from the free throw line. 17 total points for him. 49-34 Loogootee. There's a shot up there by Miller, no good. Rebound is off and is taken off by Loogootee. Grabbed there off there by Mark Eichmiller. Long pass to Strange, lays up and in. Dave Strange gets his 7th point of the night, and it's now 51-34 Loogootee.
I got a first quarter score at Southridge Sectional. Jasper leading Forest Park 12-7. Jasper over Forest Park at the end of the first quarter, 12-7.
Okay, thanks. 12-7, Jasper leading Forest Park at the end of the first quarter. It's 51-36 here with Loogootee out in front. Bullock comes out of the ball game now for Barr-Reeve, and Coy Robinson comes back in. There's Lagootee's ball out, passing back to Mike Wagner, shooting and scoring. Mike Wagner, 6 points for Mike now, 53-36. 57 seconds left here in the third period. Now with it is Merv Knepp. Up with his shot, he hits. Merv Knepp scores his second basket for Barr-Reeve, 53-38. Loogootee. Mike Wagner with it for Loogootee. Down underneath, Nig breaks, goes up the shot, he scores, and is fouled by Robinson. A foul is called. The basket will count. And the Nig scores. The foul is on Coy Robinson. That's his second. And Nig will have one shot at the free throw line. Now let's see. Bullock comes back in, and Coy Robinson goes out for Barr-Reeve. Steve Bullock back in. Coy Robinson goes out. Kenny Nig up there. The shot is good. So Kenny's hit 6 for 6 from the free throw line. He has 20 points in the game now, 56-38. Loogootee leading. Barr-Reeve's ball, Merv Knepp out here to Gary Knepp. He tries his shot, he scores. Gary Knepp on a nice shot. He did not get a bucket in the first half. He has 3 here in his third period. Now Larry Hembry down with it for Loogootee. It's 56-40. Loogootee leading by 16 points. 18-17, clock running here. Now Wagner hooks a pass over here to Nig, but it's back out again to Hembry. Over the side. Now it gives off there to Ike Miller. Ike Miller now to Strange. Back out again. Off to Hembry. Wanting somebody to come out. 6 seconds. 4 seconds. And gives to Nig. 2 seconds. There's a shot by Wagner. No good. As the gun sounds ending the third period of play with a score. Loogootee Lions 56. The Barr-Reeve Vikings 40. 56-40 the score here with Loogootee out in front by 16 at the end of the third period of play. You know, every person who has any dealings and involve money, whether some be large or small, needs a banking connection. At Washington National Bank, you enjoy a complete, adequate line of financial services, from checking accounts to the experienced counsel needed to settle an estate. Now, that's the Washington National Bank, 204 East Main Street, or the Drive-In Bank at the East National Highway Shopping Center in Washington. Well, Ron's figuring up the scoring in that third period. And what do you got, Ron?
Well, Joe, I have Barr-Reeve hitting 8 for 17 in the third quarter, 47.1. They're hitting at even 50% for the game, while Loogootee, it was 8 for 15 for 53.3%, and they're hitting almost 59%.
For the game. All right, they start the fourth quarter, and tip is controlled by Barr-Reeve. With it is Merv Neff. 56-40. Loogootee leads by 16. Outside to go to Bullock in that corner, and he goods the baseline. He can't get a shot away. Coming in behind him to take it there is Miller. Knocked out of his hand, hooks a pass, but now it's stolen away by Barr-Reeve, and rather by Paul Hildebrand Loogootee. And with it, up with his Kenny Nig for the Lions. Out to the Paul Strange. He shoots from the side. No good. Rebound taken off, and a foul is going to be called here on Mattingly. Mattingly commits his fourth personal foul. And now the 1-on-1, the bonus is in effect for both teams here. That's the fourth personal on Kenny Mattingly. And we may have a substitution come in here. Let's see. No. Up at the free throw line will be Kenny Graber for Barr-Reeve. I call Paul Strange over. Want to talk, or Dave Strange over. Want to talk to him. There's a shot up there. It's no good, and the rebound comes off, and it's taken off here by Kenny Nig of Loogootee. With it now is Larry Hembry. Hembry's played quite a bit of ball tonight here in this ball game. And he's, remember, only a sophomore, 5'11". And we have a jump ball going to be called now. As he was tied up trying to get couldn't find someone to pass to. And it'll be Ike Miller to jump with Bullock. There's a tip up and controlled by Loogootee. Shot by Nig. Good. Kenny Nig. 22 points for Kenny Nig now. 58-40 the score. Loogootee lead. There's a long shot from way out. It is no good by Gary Knepp. Taken off here by Strange of Loogootee. So Dave cleared the board. With it now is Hembry. Gives to Nig. He drives hard down the side and back out. Out to the center of the court. Gives off to Larry Hembry. Hembry to Ike Miller. Ike Miller. Now, the ball stolen on the pass, coming down all the way with it, and a layup there is no good as blocked. The shot was taken by Gary Knepp, tipped back up by Merv Knepp, no good. And rebound is off. A jump ball is going to be called. A jump ball is going to be called here. Now, Wagner comes back in the ball game for Loogootee. Wagner comes in, and Mark Eichmiller goes out. Nig will jump here for the Lions, and Kenny Graber to jump for the Vikings. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in the ball game. 58-40 the score. Loogootee leads by 18, and they control the tip. Now pass and traveling with the ball is called on Wagner. So it's a turnover here to Barr-Reeve. This ball game coming to you over WFML in Washington, Indiana. Joe Edwards here at the Washington High School gym, the Washington Sectional. With it now is Gary Knepp for Barr-Reeve. Out to Merv Knepp. In the middle, back out again. Long shot by Gary Knepp, no good. The rebound is off, taken off by Bullock of Barr-Reeve. Gives out there to Gary Knepp. Now we have traveling is going to be called against Gary Knepp. And that is 19 turnovers in the ball game for Barr-Reeve. All right, it'll be Mike Wagner to pass it in here. Larry Hembry gets it. He's still in the backcourt, and back there with him is Merv Knepp. Knepp across the timeline, and now it goes out to Wagner with it. Wagner. Larry Hembry. Hembry. Out center court, gives to Nig. Nig drives the middle with it and passes off, gets it off there to Paul Hildebrand, but he turns and goes back out with it. Now Larry Hembry has it for Loogootee. Out the center of the court, off to Wagner. Loogootee sitting here on an 18-point lead, 58-40. Now they go outside. With it now is Dave Strange. He comes right back out with it and goes over to Wagner. And he said they can handle the ball, Ron. There now he drives, but he doesn't go in to shoot. He passes off. Actually, it looked like, but he was fouled by Kenny Graber. I don't know if he was going in to shoot or not, but that's the fourth person on Kenny Graber. But he went up in the air with it. And up there to shoot will be Mike Wagner. He was not in the act of shooting because you give him the one-on-one. There's a shot up there. No good on it. Comes off, rebound off, taken off by Steve Bullock of Barr-Reeve. Now down court is Merv Knepp. And a shot by Bullock. No good. Rebound is off, taken off by Dave Strange of Loogootee. Quickly gives it to Wagner. 5:05 left in the ball game. With it now, Larry Hembry. Hembry driving in. And underneath, the layup there is good. And that layup by Paul Hildebrand. And that is 10 points for Hildebrand now. 60-40, a 20-point lead here for Loogootee Lions. Barr-Reeve's ball underneath the Bullock. Can't shoot, and we have a whistle. The foul going to be called. The foul is on Dave Strange. That's his first. The foul is on Dave Strange. That's his first personal. And up the line goes Steve Bullock for Barr-Reeve. He'll have the one-on-one. Up with his shot. It is good. That's 7 points for Bullock now, and his first point here in the second half. He had 6 points in the first half. Jasper was leading Forest Park 12-7 the first quarter in that game down at Berg. Next one up is also good. Makes it now 60-42. Loogootee by 18 points. They have the ball and will pass it in. Hembry looking for someone to get it into. And he finally gets into Wagner. Wagner down and to Dave Strange. At the baseline, back out again to Wagner. Loogotee's ball. Wagner. Hembry. Hembry. Guarded by Knepp, and he's called for it. That's a jump ball. Merv Knepp. He'll be jumping here with Larry Hembry at the center of the court. 4 minutes and 23 seconds left in the game. Another game to follow between Shoals and North Davies. The tip is up and controlled by Barr-Reeve. Now with it is Bullock, and we have a whistle, and a foul is going to be called on Wagner. The foul is going to be called here on Mike Wagner. That's his first. And it will be Steve Bullock at the line for Barr-Reeve, and he is 4 for 4 from the charity stripe tonight. So he'll have the one-on-one here. Shot is up there. No good. Off it comes. And picked up here by Paul Hildebrand of Loogootee. Now with it is Wagner. Clock running as Wagner crossed the line. Larry Hembry with it. Hembry got it very closely. Now driving with it is Nig. He lays it up and scores. He went driving in. 24 points for Kenny Nig. And it's 62-42. Loogootee by 20. There's a pass underneath to Bullock, and he goes up to score. Steve Bullock scores. That's 10 points for Bullock in the ball game for Barr-Reeve. 62-44 the score. Nig back here with the ball for Loogootee. Across the timeline. He's still with it. Gives it out here to Wagner. Loogootee has the ball. Now Wagner drives toward the basket. He goes up with his shot. He hits. Mike Wagner, 8 points for Wagner now, 64-44. Merv Knepp down. Now the ball stolen here by Larry Hembry of Loogootee. Fast break all the way down to Wagner. He lays up and scores. So Wagner, Larry Hembry passing. He stole the ball, passed off to Wagner. 66-44, timeout called. And the Lions crowd are roaring right here now. They lead 66-44 Barr-Reeve with 3:06 to go in the ball game. You know, you farmers know that fertilizer service is a very important item in today's farming operation. Trailer Fertilizer Service in Montgomery is equipped to care for all fertilized needs efficiently. Call 486-3285 and let Trailer Fertilize help you with your particular fertilizer or chemical need. They're ready to help make your farming operation easier and more profitable. Trailer Fertilizer Service in Montgomery, Indiana. (66-44), Loogootee leads, 3:06 to go in the ball game. Now the winner of this game will play the winner of this next game coming up between Shoals and North Davies, and the second game on Friday night. There are no games tomorrow night. They all get a night off. But there's 2 games Friday, and of course the championship game on Saturday night. Okay, it'll be Barr-Reeve's ball. And the pass will come in. Bob Miller is in there. Now there's a shot by Coy Robinson. He's back in there. It's no good. Comes back off, and now the ball goes out of bounds. It's tipped out there by Barr-Reeve. It'll be Loogotee's ball out. There's the pass in. Wagner. Wagner right back out with it. Gives off here to Nig. Larry Hembry, center court. Out to Zai, gives to Wagner. Wagner, guarded by Merv Knepp, down to Hembry. Hembry in the middle, goes to Nig, up with his shot. No good, but it's tipped back up and in there by Paul Hildebrand. Basket by Hildebrand makes it 68-44. 68-44, Loogootee. And Barr-Reeve with the ball. Brian Hart, cross court. Merv Knepp. He hooks the pass. Strikeout. We have Stanley Stoll is in there for Barr-Reeve. And now another turnover here, traveling with it. And now we have Strange comes out of the ball game for Loogootee. Nig comes out. They get a nice hand. In the ball game here, we have David Blackwell, a 5'8" sophomore, comes in. Blackwell for Loogootee. He's back there with Wagner. Hembry is in there still. And with the ball now is Ike Miller. Ike Miller to Hembry. Out to Blackwell. Blackwell through the middle. Tries to pass, gets the ball back, tries shot, partially blocked. Ike Miller gets it back for Loogootee. Now Larry Hembry has it. And we have 1:50 to go. And now we have Mike Wagner with it. Out here goes to Blackwell. Ike Miller. Ike Miller drives toward the basket. And now we have a whistle and a foul call on Bullock. A foul call on Bullock, Barr-Reeve, and that is his 3rd personal foul. Up at the line goes Mark Ike Miller. 2 for 3 from the free throw line. He has 4 points, a field goal, and 2 free throws. 1:38 seconds remaining. Now another substitution coming in here. Tim Weiniger, 5'10" junior, comes in, place of Wagner. Wagner had 10 points in the ball game tonight. Kenny Nig had 24. There's a shot up there is good by Ike Miller. I get ready for the next one. Now we have 2 substitutions coming in for Barr-Reeve. Mike Graber comes in the ball game. He's a 5'9" sophomore. And also Mike Craney, a 6'1" junior, comes in. Next one up with Ike Miller is no good. Loogootee gets the ball back on the rebound. And it comes out David Blackwell with it. Out to Larry Hembry. Hembry. Double team, but he gets it now off to Blackwell and back again. And we have traveling is going to be called here on Paul Hildebrand. Now in the ball game, we have Chris Birch, a 6-foot sophomore, comes in for Loogootee, and the Lions call timeout with 1:24 to go. With the score, Loogootee 69, Barr-Reeve 44. The latest in least cost protein for beef and dairy animals is Co-op Lick Mix 32, a flexible, efficient, economical liquid supplement available from the Martin County Farm Bureau Co-op. Co-op Lick Mix 32 is a highly palatable source of protein and can be fed in whatever form suits your operation. See your Martin County Farm Bureau Co-op at Loogootee right away about Co-op Lick Mix 32. So it'll be Loogootee Lions in the semifinal round Friday night as they have a big lead here with 1:24 to go. And they said they'll play the winner of the game coming up between North Davies and Shoals in the second game on Friday night. Barr-Reeve has made only one basket so far in this fourth quarter, I believe. Isn't that right, Ron?
Right there, 1 for 7.
Yeah.
I have a halftime score down at Jasper. Jasper is leading Forest Park at the half, 24-18. Jasper over Forest Park at the half, 24-18.
Okay, thanks, Gene. Down with a shot there was Corey Robinson for Barr-Reeve, but he missed it, so it's taken off here. Now another timeout's going to be called by Loogootee. They have the ball. Halftime score is Jasper 24 and Forest Park 18. 24-18. Jasper leads at halftime. I don't know what this was all about here. I thought there was a timeout call, but there was not. But Loogootee has the ball out of bounds. Now they get him. Now it's broken up. Corey Robinson takes it for Barr-Reeve. 24-18. Jasper leads Forest Park at the halftime. Barr-Reeve with the ball. Up with a shot there is no good. And tipped back up again by Robinson and in. Robinson gets the first basket here tonight for Barr-Reeve. Makes it 69-46. Long pass down here, and the shot is up. It is no good, but Paul Taylor is in the ball game for Loogootee. And we have a foul going to be called. The foul was against Loogootee and was on Chris Birch. And at the line will be Corey Robinson for Barr-Reeve. Shot is up, no good. Rebound taken off here by Loogootee. With the ball is Dave Blackwell for Loogootee. He drives in, passes off, underneath, and ball gets away, picked up by Barr-Reeve. Long pass down to Jeff Hart is in there now for Barr-Reeve. Long shot from outside is good by Gary Knepp. He hit that one from way out in left field. 69-48 now the score. Loogootee leads, Loogootee with the ball. Blaine Dust is in there for Loogootee. And we have a drive in, but a foul is called up back here, and the foul is against Barr-Reeve. Dust will go to the free throw line. It's going to be on Hart. That is Jeff Hart, by the way. There's the free throw up there, but Dust is no good by Blaine Dust of Loogootee. Rebound off, taken off by Corey Robinson. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Barr-Reeve with the ball. Robinson up with the shot. No good. Ball game is over. Ball game is over, and the final score is Loogootee 69 and Barr-Reeve 48. 69-48, the final score here, the first game, and Loogootee winning, and they'll go to the semifinal round Friday night, playing the winner of the game coming up here between North Davis and Shoals. I'll give you a rundown of the scoring in just a moment. You know, if you want to get the Uniroyal feel, the feeling of driving on Uniroyal Zeta steel-belted tires, see Newland Tire Incorporated. You can actually feel the difference between Uniroyal steel-belted radials and ordinary bias ply tires, starting, stopping, or turning, even in weather on bad roads. So if you want a new kind of driving confidence, get the Uniroyal steel-belted radials. And get them at Newland Tire Incorporated, your chartered Uniroyal steel-belted radio dealer, 703 West National Highway in Washington. Well, looking at the scoring here for the Loogootee Lions now, Kenny Mattingly had a total of 9 points in the ball game. He had 4 personals. Dave Strange was 7 points and 1 personal foul. Paul Hildebrand had 10 points. He picked up 4 personal. Kenny Nig with 24 points. He had 1 personal. Mike Wagner with 10 points and 1 personal. The other scoring, Mark Eichmiller had 5 points on a field goal, 3 free throws, 2 personals. And Larry Hembry had 2 points on a field goal and no personals. All the others got in the lineup but did not score. Chris Birch picked up a personal foul, but Dust, Trader, Weininger, and Blackwell did not score. So Nig led the scoring for both ball clubs with 24. Hildebrand with 10, Wagner with 10, Mattingly with 9, and Strange with 7, Ike Miller with 5, and Himberg with 2. For Barr-Reeve, it was Kenny Graber with 4 points on 2 field goals. He had 4 personals. Brian Hart, who had a hot hand the first half of the game, he had 15 points that first half, but was held at 2 points, 1 field goal in the second half. He wound up with 17 points, and he had 1 personal foul. Steve Bullock had a total of 10 points. He had 3 personals. Gary Knepp had 9 points. He only had 1 point in the first half, but he had 4 field goals in the second half, 1 personal foul. Merv Knepp had 4 points on 2 field goals and 1 personal foul. Jeff Hart did not score. He had 1 personal. Coy Robinson, 2 points on the field goal. He had 2 personals. Bob Miller did not score. And Mike Craney, Mike Graber, Stanley Stahl, Mark Traylor all got in the ball game, but did not score. So leading the scoring was Brian Hart for Barr-Reeve with 17. Steve Bullock was the only other one in double figures with 10. Loogootee held only a 2-point lead at the end of the first quarter, 12-10. They stretched it out to 11-point lead at halftime, 35-24. They led by 16 at the end of the third period, 56-40, and won it going away with a score of 69-48. And Ron, quickly give us the shooting here.
Okay, Joe. Loogootee, 29 for 50, or an even 58%. 14 for 26 in the last half, 15 for 24 in the first. Barr-Reeve finished up at 21 of 48, 43.8%. They went ice cold in the last quarter, 3 of 12, so that really done them in there. 11 for 29 for the half. What really was the big difference in this ball game was Barr-Reeve's 21 errors. They just kept digging themselves deeper and deeper in the hole, and you just can't do that against Loogootee. They take advantage every time. Loogootee had 14 errors, but 5 of those coming in that last quarter. In the rebounding department, I had Barr-Reeve with 20, Joe, and Loogootee with 19. Not many rebounds because both teams were hitting the basket real well. Graber had 6 for Barr-Reeve. Brian Hart and Bullock 5 each. For Loogootee, Hildebrand had 5, with Nig having 4. Strange, Ike Miller, and Blackwell had 3 each.
Okay, so that's the first game here. Now Loogootee is 17-4 for the year. Barr-Reeve closes out their year with 14 wins, 7 losses. We're going to have the second game coming up here now between the North Davis Cougars and the Shoals Jug Rocks. But right now we're going to go back to the studio, and I know Gene probably has some things he wants to talk to you about, a little music, maybe has some other scores. And then we'll see you back here in about 15 minutes. All right, Gene?